that's a great conversation Olele Salvador had with the man SDK on this brand new single, Cameraman. I mean, if you want a podcast with this, just jump onto our socials. You'll find it on there as well. Great conversation. Wishing my brother all the best, and our condolences on the loss of your mom as well. We'll all be there definitely to support you as well. But before we jump into our conversation this morning on the choice, on that question, that last question that Olele asked SDK, well, discover a world of innovation, a world of luxury, and a world that many of us dream of, okay? Now, discover the world of Bang & Olufsen, a particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics you might love to own. Locate us at your the showroom right here in Accra. It's at the Atlantic Tower, Liberation Road, where each passing day, month, and year, a variety of drool-worthy new electronic gadgets ranging from exquisite home theaters, speakers, headphones, television sets, and soundbar products are released. Bang & Olufsen like no one else. And also, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases also foul breath, okay? Now, brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride, okay? Pro-fluoride and micro-calcium ingredients. It's a skill that you have to adopt when you're reading these things because you have to be very careful in saying some of the things, you understand? Pro-fluoride. Try saying it fast. Sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. Now, this prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy as well. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, maximum cavity protection 10 times stronger. I'll tell you more about Pepsodent Charcoal and Herbal as we go along. Now, this morning, you know, we're a few hours away from the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. Now, there's a tag that our producer, who's also a guest on the show this morning with us, put, and he says, "Who's your guy?" I like this so much because from the VGMA final nomination on Artiste of the Year and ahead of the big finale weekend, we want to evaluate each nominee and a year of review. Big question. Who would be your top 3 artists of the year for from 2022? Your top 3 artists. Who's your guy? But before that, let me quickly tell you the artists that are in that category in case you've missed out on those nomination lists. So for Artist of the Year category, they have Black Sherif, we've got Stonebwoy, we've got Sarkodie, we've got King Promise, we've got Camido, Kidi, Piesie, Esther, and Joe Mettle. Even before I continue now, on the controversy of Piesie Esther, it's so beautiful to see the Church of Pentecost rally behind her, gathering support for her votes, campaigning for votes. Also, in an interesting turn of events on the page of Mr. George Quay, who happened to be former PR for Charterhouse, he did share something that I'll find and read out to you as well. The war between secular artists and gospel musicians when it comes to the VGMA. So, in fact, award schemes in general. Let me see if I can quickly roll back to find the post that George put up. I'll find, I think it was a while ago. He says, encourage your fans to vote, lobby them, push them, beg, implore them, buy them credits, get them data, sing for them if you have to, go from house to house. This is more like a campaign. If you must, just leave the board and academy alone to do their work. That was just one. He says also, gospel people going around desperately doing all they can to influence the VGMA Academy and board members. Worldly acts are focusing on their fans, as should be done. When we talk the gospel people ball SMH, he put this on. Now, that's an interesting one, but that's just on the side. Just talking about Piesie Esther's inclusion. If you're on social media, heavy on social media as well, you do see a lot of people campaigning for Piesie Esther to win amongst the top artists as well, who are also on the same list of Artists of the Year. However, we are looking at the top 3 artists. Who would be your top 3 artists? I would help you achieve that by doing a quick review on each of the artists I mentioned. Then we can actually choose. for you or maybe for us as well. To make this conversation happen this morning, I've got Honorable Olele Salvador, MP for Big Studio West, trending live constituency. Yes. Also, we have Honorable Member of Parliament for Editorial East, Honorable Lenny Lomote. Honorable Lomote is here with us this morning. You're welcome to the show, Honorable.
Thanks.
Honorable. No, Professor.
Speaker.
Okay. Prof. Professor Gokel is here with us as well. From the Institute of Bibia. And then, of course, Honorable Ricky Tenneson is also here with us this morning. We're going to have an insightful conversation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I mean, give me my constituency.
Oh, no, my brother. Floating. This question is a very big question that deserves a lot of facts and figures before we can just jump to conclusions. It is very easy to use emotions to mention a top 3 based on your interest in the artist. But before you make those interests happen, we have to look at the facts that would guide you to be able to make such insightful choices. So who would be your top 3 artists from 2022? Okay, now we've listed quite a few here out of the Artiste of the Year category. The list is on the screens now as well. We've got Black Sherif, we've got Stonebwoy, Sarkodie, King Promise, Camido, Kidi, Piesie, Esther, and Joe Mettle. Very interesting. Guys, open floor conversation. Where do we tackle this from? Before we even delve into the facts, the figures, the science of the choices, I just want to get everybody's off the top of their mind, their top 3, and then we can go in there. We'll make a comparison at the end of the show to see if minds have changed. Let me start off with Olele Salvador.
But Jay, before that, I want to comment a little on the George Kui.
Okay, yeah.
We're already having a conversation even in the studio. I think George Kui is not being fair, to the agenda of the gospel artist. I mean the gospel fraternity, because obviously he wants a gospel artist to win. So if he decides to engage voting members, there's nothing wrong with
regardless
that.
Regardless of their background.
He's not forcing them, or he's not actually. If he was doing that illegally, and that's fine.
Okay, I didn't understand the post.
If you are going
he's saying that.
He's lobbying. So what the gospel people are actually doing is they are lobbying away from fans and away from the fan voting. They are lobbying board members and academy members to vote for Piesie Esther. That's what they are doing.
All right, because we've seen some board members and academy members, I don't know, talking about it.
So it's not like that they are talking. What he realizes is the voting blocks.
Yes.
For any artist to win the overall Artist of the Year are 3. So the first block is the fans, the second block is the board, and the third is the academy. Mm-hmm. They know strongly that, the secular artist, like let's say Blacko or Sarkodie, would not put in enough money or a lot of money in public voting. They know for sure that the 40% of that vote, like 80 or 90% of that 40% is going to go to them. Because, the whole Pentecost community is behind them. Mm-hmm. All the gospel artists are actually behind them, rooting. Even Joe Mettle, who is in that same category, is actually offering his vote to Piesie Esther. So clearly, everybody's rooting for Piesie Esther to win from the fan perspective. But they know the fans are just 40%, or they actually make 40% of the vote. So they need to fight for 60%, which is the board and the academy. So now they are lobbying for that. So that I won't win, because if, let's say, Sarkodie gets board and academy voting 60%, and he even loses from the fans, he has 60% here and little here. But if Piesie wins 40 here and do not get,
but is that what is right?
Of course, I want to win. It means a lot to me. What is right?
Not when I say is that what is right, as in lobbying the academy to.
What's wrong with that?
to.
There's nothing wrong with that. Stonebwoy in years past has held, how do you call it, a voting party. I don't know if you remember, where he said he invested 30,000 into his fans, and he brought industry people together to more or less like, he was not influencing them, but he's like, okay, Charlie, this year I've done well, and at the end of the year or ahead of the VGMAs, I want all of us to celebrate my year. You know,
I want to understand. It's very easy to say, just so we don't go too far off our convo. But
Right.
I want to bring this. Is it right to lobby the academy or the board members as compared to the fans? I mean, the fans are. I mean, I don't. How do I best explain this? The influence, the power, the I don't know how to put this, but the academy is like the core, it's like the heart of this
scheme.
Of the scheme. Mm-hmm. And it would not be fair to use any form of influence to, because you should leave that judgment to the judgment. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Should be best to explain this. It's happening even in your parliament house.
I don't know, but is it right? That's what I'm saying.
No,
I asked the question that is it right, and you said there's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
But is it right?
Lobbying is not
lobbying
wrong.
Is not lobby. I think you are mistaking lobbying for coercing. So in any award scheme or any award, anything that has a board, an advisory board or whatever, you have the liberty to mostly to lobby. And lobby is basically just trying to state a case for your input. And of course, there's a lot of artist content to be sieved through.
No, I need to hear from George Craig.
So it's okay to say this is why I think you guys should spend some more focus on Olele, because despite everything you guys have written about him, he did A, B, C, D, 2, which if you take those facts into consideration, might affect your final judgment on this. So that's not to say that Olele hasn't done the work and they are going to do who you know. That's coercion, that's nepotism, corruption, blah, blah, blah. But lobbying is more or less just trying to put before the board whatever is more relevant information that they might have missed or might not have seen for its totality. Right. Do you get it?
No.
For example, let me give you an example. So, for example, let's say Jay Foley does a bar tour, right? Assuming, let's say SDK, so comedian. Let's say he does a bar tour and we're giving comedian awards. We would say, okay, tour, bar tour, cool, full stop. SDK's management can lobby us, say it was not just a bar tour. At each bar, we made sure that we did this, blah, 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 and there was a social impact angle of this and that and that. We have a report from our partners who supported us on it of that and that and that. So what you have labeled as bar tour, which on face value just looks like a bar tour, this is actually how deep and significant it was for us. And this is just information that you might not be able to know from your board perspective, because you are just looking out at the audience. Like, how much research has...
Let's look at what
happens in the boardroom, which you know.
I mean, this coming out from George, this isn't the conversation though, but this coming out from George, that's why I want us to take it back into context and understand what he's saying. If you lobby the academy or the board, what does it rub off us? Because it also depends on what kind of lobbying you are engaging in. You understand? Because that's what I'm saying. I mean, it says gospel people going around, in quotes, desperately doing all they can to influence, and he put that in quotes again, the VGMA Academy and board members. Then he writes, worldly acts are focusing on the fans, as should be done.
Is it what nothing states in the how do you call it? Like the books of VGMA that nobody can engage or lobby any member of the board or academy.
The fact that the worldly artists are not
unless
doing
it has been exactly.
I think
unless it has been stated in.
It's maybe I'm not expressing myself well. I'm not understanding.
No, but we can read, Jay. We can.
What I'm seeing here is I have it in my mind, but just rubbing it off, explaining it is quite difficult for me. But what I see off here is it looks like the academy or the board is not supposed to. You're not supposed to engage them or try to influence their decision, because they're the ones who actually the board comes up with the list. So let me ask. Re-engage them.
The reason why I'm saying
that's why I'm trying to understand.
The reason I don't agree with you is there are three voting blocks. There are fans, there's the board, and there's the academy. And I'm saying there are no like bylaws that says don't engage ABCD or don't lobby or don't have any form of interactions with any of these 3 voting blocks. Just check this. You think by morals or by whatever it is, they can engage fans. They can go on social media and say, fans, vote for me, vote for me. There are 3 voting blocks, but you think they only have the right to engage just the fan part of the block, but they don't have the right to go to the other 2 blocks. Who says so?
What is the role of the board?
The role of the board has the board has several the board has several rules, but not when it comes to the final voting pattern.
You need to understand the role of each of these communities you've mentioned in creating the scheme. So I'm asking, the board plays an integral role in the selection process of the people who have been nominated.
Exactly.
Same as the academy.
Exactly.
The fans.
No, the academy does not play. So the board, that's what I'm saying.
The academy is like a stakeholder. It's like a stakeholder.
The only role they play is the final decision part of it.
Yes,
exactly.
But the fans don't play any of such roles.
No, they do. In the final decision.
In the selection. No.
Academy don't play a role in who is finally selected for the 8.
Yes,
they don't.
But that's what I'm saying. That so when you go and touch the board, when you try to influence the board, what does it rub off us?
Right.
That question is not being answered.
You said they're lobbying the board or the academy members.
Listen, none of the things we're saying is factual. This is just off a post that someone said. So please, guys, don't think that we are saying that Piesie Esther has gone ahead.
Yeah.
We're just trying to understand the post from George Quay, who also happened to be a former staff of Charterhouse. Of course, he was in the production. He was PR. So this coming out for him, of course, clearly raises concerns with regards to things. We've also seen how all the artists are campaigning for their things. I think sometime recently, Caleb Nii Noi also posted each of these artists that had been nominated. None of them at that point in time had actually even posted anything VGMA on their pages, and of course, I'm sure he was trying to raise eyebrows to the fact that what are you guys doing about your votes? However, I'm saying the board plays a very integral role in.
So are the fans. I don't want you to discount that.
No,
that's why they even have the majority.
No, the fans. When I'm talking about the selection process of who qualifies to be in the category.
But the academy does not play that role.
But when you say who qualifies to be in the category, don't they open nominations?
Who selects? Is it the fans who choose?
I agree with Jay.
No, it's the fans that
the academy doesn't.
No, let me understand this. When the artists file for nominations, it goes into a pool, right? Mm-hmm. When you say who selects,
the girl.
When you say who selects, are you talking about who finally comes out as nominated for a particular category? Is that what you're talking about? Isn't that the academy?
No, that's the board. So that's why I'm saying that the question Jay is asking is tricky. Look, it's not even tricky. It's not. It's an easy look. It's
tricky. It's really
no, but it actually makes sense because if these people are the ones who have come up with the final list, how are you then lobbying
them?
Yeah, with them to now want to be the winner. Yeah, I feel like even with them having to decide or niche down on these 7 or 10,
they should be devoid of any affiliation of any sort.
No. So the reason I'm saying that is, again, I was just part of a process that eventually brought out the final 8 list. But there's also the next level of the process that says, who do we decide to be number 1? And that is where everybody's interest is in. That's where everybody... So now they introduce another block, which is academy members who were not... So let's say if they are not even lobbying the board and they are lobbying the academy, would you be fine with that? Because the academy didn't contribute. So
It's not fine.
Why?
This is what you're saying. It's like saying that, look, let me just give a very simple example to all this thing.
Okay.
With a church, you understand? You are a girl. You want to go and you want to flirt with somebody. Then of what everybody did the church is that you attack the pastor.
I don't know, but
what I'm saying is that the board and their role play in the process. It rubs off. I don't know the clauses and the policies around
this. It rubs
this.
off what?
But for anyone to try and influence the board, would make it look as if
but the board does not have the final decision. That's what I'm telling you. I can lobby the board.
Yeah, but they hold a part of the decision, right?
Yes, but Jay, check this.
Not the final.
Is it possible that the artists are doing something that is futile and we are arguing about it.
Anyway,
because
please.
if the board cannot secure you the thing, talking to the board is useless.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
If the board what?
If the board cannot secure you the win, then talking to them after they've shortlisted.
Wait, but the board has got a percentage, right?
No.
30%.
Yes.
The fans have majority.
That's what I'm actually wondering. I'm actually.
What George Quay is saying is that even if you go and talk to all the board and they give you all the support, it's just 30%.
Right.
And if you get that 30% from the board and you haven't activated the fans who will actually give you 30 plus 1 going on 40 towards a win, then it's useless.
Or look at it this way.
It's easier to win. He's just trying to advise them sarcastically. If you are able to activate your fans and your fans come in whooping numbers, even without the board,
look at this.
It's a good figure.
Bro, look at it this way. The church already has got the numbers. So basically,
they assume that everybody in the church is going to vote.
Bro, it's not assumed.
I think,
there are facts that have shown and proven that when the church come together and want to vote, whoever you are,
we saw it happen with Diana Hamilton.
Yes, even John Mettle, the same thing. So I want to believe that they already have the voting percentage on lock. So if they are going to go to the board member, because they know that they need that influence.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because you need 60% from both the board and the academy. The funds is just 40. So I want to believe if indeed there's any iota of truth in what George Quay is saying, it's because the people know that when it comes to the public voting, they have it on lock. But they need the influence from both the board and the academy. Do you know what I'm saying? So
please,
that's the only way. That's the only reason I can
let's dovetail to what we spent 25 minutes already on this conversation. Come to the conversation. Anyway, but who will be your top 3 artists from 2022? I was asking that in the initial question of let's do a quick round table before we jump into the numbers. Olele, the way you are the way you are rubbing your head, I can see you have been influenced. You've been influenced to mention some names this morning, and I can see because I have evidence.
I'm trying to pull out the category definition so that
perfect.
It would assist my my choices.
Have you found it?
No. So if you don't mind, skip me for. Let me try and get. I beg you, pa.
I like the angle you're coming from. You also need that.
Yeah. So if you like, skip me for.
Hey,
just start from 0.
Skipping rope.
Let me.
No, I can't. Eleni.
But on top of my head, my first artist is Black Sherif. That is one. So I have 2 more slots. I'm coming.
So for me, my top 3.
But again, wait, hold on, guys. Okay. What goes into informing? Because I really want to understand what goes into informing the decision for Artiste of the Year. Because with Diana Hamilton, when she won against Kidi, was it last year or last 2 years?
Yeah, she's currently there.
Last year, right? So it was last year. No. It was last 2 years. It was 2021. Yeah, absolutely. It was 2021. When she won against Kidi, there was that argument of it's just one song. It was her Adom song that blew up against Kidi's songs, right? Yeah, so what is that? Can
it's
we
vote? There's nothing. It's vote.
Because then you know typically people kept saying that the Pentecost Church rallied behind Diana Hamilton for her to win that. Right. But then again, I'm like, if she made it to the short list, then that means she had the potential, right? But then again, shouldn't it be looking at entire bodies of work, the work the artiste has put in?
That's why the person made the short list in the first place.
That's the confusion for me. Let me right? Like one song as against people's albums, people's concerts, shows, tours, all of those things.
According to their website, they say that the artist of the year is adjudged by the academy, board, and general public. So you need all three, all 3 pillars.
Okay.
As the artist with one, the highest audience appeal.
Highest audience appeal. Why? Let's take note.
Popularity in the year under review. That's the second one. That's the first. In fact, that's the first group.
Audience appeal, popularity.
That's the first group. Okay. The second group is you must have released a hit single, or a hit EP, or a hit album.
What qualifies? Go back to the second one. What qualifies?
The artist must have released a hit single.
No, the one before this one. Sorry.
Popularity,
and then audience highest audience appeal.
So that means we should all perceive you to be popular.
Exactly.
Well,
that's also
appeal. No, it's different from popularity.
That's also another
audience.
That's not the argument. Because what metric do you use to determine who's popular and who's not?
Till today, my grand aunt still doesn't know who Shatawale is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bruh.
It depends on demographic. It's true. It's possible.
Who gets to that?
But she knows Piesie, Esther. Exactly.
That's a dynamic.
Is questionable.
That's a dynamic because
so that's why
the
again.
demographics.
That's why, because of popularity and because it is like you're saying, because
so it is across the three.
Exactly. That's why they are giving you the board
options.
They are giving you the academy, and they're giving you the fans. So if you say you don't know a black Sherif and you know a Piesie Esther, you vote for them, and it's the same as the academy members. And academy members also cut across. They cut across various age groups and various jurisdictions within the media and entertainment. So you get gospel presenters, you get gospel DJs in there, you get gospel writers, you get maybe these gospel writers within the whole year had heavily been involved in gospel activities. So truly they may not know so much about Black Sherif's heroics.
But you know, there's an interesting caveat here, Ricky. And that's the last caveat. Mm-hmm. The artist must have one of the highest nominations in a year under review.
Hey, when did this come in?
Single EP album. So there are three groups.
One of the highest.
So you have highest audience appeal and popularity. That's one group. Mm-hmm. You must have at least a hit single, an EP, or an album in any of them. Yeah. Then you must be one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under review.
I see.
Highest nominations.
So that's the year
in totality
for the whole VGMA. So apart from being artist of the year, maybe you are nominated for best vocalist, best rapper, best this, best that.
No, but
I think it's questionable.
Yeah, but that's
I remember this.
No. It's fine. It makes perfect sense.
No, so
you cannot be artist of the year
and not be in other categories.
Yes, it's like saying the overall athlete, but he hasn't performed in any other sub-sport.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Between Jackie's something, and then maybe Kim Promise's. What was Kim Promise's record last year?
The fact that you're asking, I think, is proving my point.
Yeah, exactly. Which one do you think was popular? Obviously, Jackie's something.
Yeah.
And based on how the categories are, you're expecting Jackie's something to make several categories. Or let's even say Jackie's something had 4 nominations and Kim Promise had 5 nominations. Why? Because maybe Jackie didn't. No, we go answer. But maybe Jackie didn't make vocalist of the year or record of the year, but Kim Promise did. You get it? Would you say that Kim Promise, who didn't have a big song, who didn't play maybe most of the big events, as compared to Jackie, who had a big song, but the categories she fit in were just 3, but the other categories which were technical had Kim Promise, like maybe record of the year. Kim Promise can make it.
Of the year, Ginger.
How do you call it? Lyricist of the year. That one, if your song no big safe or you are not popular safe, you can make it. So this guy can make 3 other categories ahead of Jackie, who was big. And you say he deserves artist of the year ahead
because
of me.
Because he has more categories.
That's wrong.
No. You see, you guys,
it's a fraud.
Guys, no. You are taking the categorizations one out of context of each other. Yeah. If you are being nominated for this, the categories need to work like sequentially on your brand. So in the scenario you've given us, where there needs to be compensation for Jackie to make the list, she will be compensated based on the extreme popularity of her song. Now, the extreme popularity of her song will be an advantage to her, right, to get her through. The same way the lack of popularity on some lyricist's song might be a disadvantage. Do you understand? That's why some of the categories are technical. Like you said, some of the categories are technical and do apply to the popularity and the rest of the other stuff.
No, I mean, it doesn't apply. It shouldn't apply to when you say you only qualify for Artist of the Year when you have a lot of nominations in the year.
That's what I'm saying. That so it's in addition. The blocks are 4.
So it's cumulative.
It's cumulative. So it's not just about you have if you have all the nominations. You can't get all the nominations because one, you need to have a hit. Please, you need to have a hit single, EP, or album. Right. Where are you getting this lyricist or record of the year without that hit song, that hit album, or that hit project? You didn't have a hit project.
Yes.
You didn't have a hit project. You didn't have a hit single. How are you going to end up as lyricist of the year or record of the year? No, but
because record of the year and lyricist of the year are not based on popularity. So someone like Trigmatic,
that's what I'm saying.
Songwriter of the year,
hit record does not mean popularity. hit record is not necessarily about how the song. There are songs that we've seen. We've seen songs that maybe are trendy on social media for certain trends or for a period or for something, right? But have tanked on DSPs. Maybe the period it was active on social media.
No, it doesn't.
See,
give me an example. Once the song is trending and it's clear. Once the song is big.
EL had a certain. EL became. He had songs. I think he had the most streamed songs or something. But then songs.
What's Coco?
Radio and all those.
Coco is the biggest. For example, let me give you an example. Yeah. Coco is EL's biggest song. If you take every success that EL has had, right? Coco is EL's biggest song. But EL's Azonto hits have got more plays. I've got more airplay and popularity than Coco. Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't.
EL's most successful song on paper.
I think we have Nii Noi on the line.
Let me land on this. Hi, Nii Noi. EL's most successful song on paper. Streams, plays, shares, Shazammed, whatever. The song that statistically puts him at the top is Coco. But Coco is not EL's most popular song.
Sisu. Even clearly, it's Coco. He was yet to admit that.
No, he was giving us that information based on the back end, based on what the song has done, not on reception. Olele, when you think about EL, Olele,
me myself,
when you think about EL's career, you've been privy for since EL started. We've all been privy. Who here would say exactly? Does Coco come across to you as EL's biggest song?
Yes.
No, the people are here. Let's ask them.
He will be able to tell which.
No, as a fan, Lenny. As a fan, we've heard everything from one Ghana to whatever.
I wouldn't
as a
think
fan,
so.
if I came and I didn't give you this statistic, exactly. Ricky, you are getting feedback from people.
Ghana Tuesday. I wouldn't think it's Coco.
Exactly.
Like
would
you
think EL's biggest song is Coco? Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
Well,
that a song.
I disagree heavily because Coco Church, everywhere Coco cut across every. Like jurisdiction. I think
let's have
is on. Let's have.
Nii Noi, good morning.
Good morning, Jay.
Yeah.
How are you?
Take on that with me, please.
Honorable Speaker, Nii Noi, can you hear me?
Good morning, Jay. I can hear you. How are you?
Hold
Jay?
on. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear us.
Hear you,
yes. Good morning. Good
yes,
morning.
I can hear you.
So.
Yeah.
We are discussing the road to the VGMAs, and of course we've seen your constituency, which is of course the gospel industry, rallying support and canvassing votes to make sure they take the ultimate prize. I don't know if you've seen George Quay's post about some of your constituents looking to lobby with the board and academy members of the VGMA to have it go their way. What do you make of it?
Let me say good morning to Olele, Jay, everyone in the studio, Siri, everyone in the studio, Ricky. I love to say that I've seen Josh's post. I've seen other posts by other people, Adwa Loud and all of that. And I will agree with Ricky. I don't think that let's start from the back. This thing starts from a process. People have to file in nominations. The board, in their own wisdom and with their criteria, shortlisted to a certain number. Then after that, they are saying that, okay, now we have 3 streams, board, which now has 40%. Let's have that in mind. They've moved from 30% and they have 40%. So on the whole voting stream, they are the most powerful. Let's have that in mind. Academy, which now has 30%. The 2 have 70%. And public, which has also 30%. The public who consumes the music has only 30%. This is how the voting stream is going. And in previous years, we had canvassed for votes from the public a lot. And, we do some academy and some board. I mean, if I say we do some academy and some board, we still talk to people. But we had canvassed for votes from public a lot. But when the dynamics change, we intend to, change some kind of strategy. So lobbying, to me, I don't think is a wrong thing. What we did, or we seek to achieve was send reminder text messages to people we perceive to be board and academy members and remind them that, okay, we know that it's time for voting. But whilst you are voting, these are some of the things Piesie had done over the period. So we've not held a gun
is that
to
what
their head
was
that
actually
vote
shared?
Piesie or not.
Is that what was actually shared? Is that the message that was actually shared?
Oh,
just a reminder of
it's
the
a message. I can read the message to you.
Yeah, I received the message myself.
Yeah, I can read the message to you. Yeah. So it's just like it's time. Just remember Piesie, Esther. The works. I mean, it's just highlighting of the person's works. And to me, I don't think that lobbying is anything bad. In recent times, Gary Al Smith has even said that for the entertainment industry to get the same amount of funds that the sports, the Black Stars is getting, you need to get lobbyists at the Flagstaff House. So I don't think lobbying is the wrong thing. Lobbying is just putting in front of policymakers, putting in front of people who make decisions that, okay, I also have a certain product, I also have something. And most of the times, when these discussions are ongoing, the gospel sector, we are left in the discussion. So we just say, okay, let's create a form of reminder for those who are going to make decisions. So, Jay, I don't think this is bad, is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, in its true self, if the lobbyists' activities work, the winners of these categories are not a reflection of what it actually is, but of I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but every nominee is a winner. So far as you have a criteria, you shortlisted us for over 1,000 artists, and you've placed us there that we are nominees for a certain category. We can also win. So
I don't dispute that fact that everybody there is a winner in itself. Yeah. I mean, so it is in totality, it's a popularity. We want to see the person within the category who will get the most votes. The most votes born out of lobbying, influence, bribery, you name all the things that you can mix in there. So that is what then it looks like. Because if we encourage lobbying, and I don't stand against it, but if we encourage lobbying, what would then be the dynamics of lobbying in the future? What do we encourage people to do? Because maybe it starts off the gospel fraternity as a text, but what does it get to? What limits then can a secular artist also decide that I'm also going to start lobbying and I'll lobby through all the radical means that I can? I don't know if that's what I'm saying, that it's okay to do it, but should we encourage it? That's the question I was actually putting to Ricky. Should we encourage such? Publicly encourage lobbying to the board and academy? The people, the decision makers of the process.
That's a big discussion that probably we can have another time.
But we can have it now. Then we have 15 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big discussion we can have. However, when you look at even, I think Olele's opening remarks, he said that Stonebwoy had done this some time back and held a voting party.
Yes,
for,
to their fans.
Perceived Academy members and fans.
Yes.
He said perceived Academy members and fans.
No, he said fans.
Fans. But Academy members actually turned up for that as well.
Academy members also turned up for it. Yes. So, I mean, we've not had a party. We are just sending messages as a reminder. I mean, like I said earlier on, we've not held guns to people's head that vote when you do. And let's go back to what the question you asked me. Should we encourage it? I think that in this field where 70% of this is moved by, the sector that we call the professionals who handle the sector. To me, I think that we should lobby, but maybe there should be limits about the lobby. And I don't, from what I said, I don't think it's a bad thing to do.
Okay, Nii Noi, I wanted to ask, as part of I know you said you send messages and all that. Do you at some point engage in some kind of bribery? By
no,
expect him to say yes.
Pay. I mean he's in the gospel sector. I would expect him to say the truth. Do you? Send something small for the boys, like a momo or something
We've not paid anybody bribes. We've not paid anybody monies. Monies have not changed hands. In fact, money in the paid. We've not given anybody money. We've not, that any sort of thing. Anybody who can say we gave him 1 CD or 2 CD to influence his decision to come out and say we've not done anything of that nature, and we're not going to cross that limit. Our limit is talk to individuals.
God has done his thing. He's back.
All
right. we lost him on there.
I was just going to ask him about playing to people's emotions. Yeah. Because if you are not playing... Okay.
You know, we lost you for a second.
I'm sorry.
All right. I think Ricky has a question for you.
What was?
I'm saying that we didn't send anybody, but no Momo. It's just send a message. Just a reminder. Just tell people that like I said, Jay, everybody in the studio, you people agree with me that most of the times when you're having that discussion, you don't think about it. You don't think about the gospel space. And I've sat on the team music board with Ricky, Stip, and all of that. And when we bring out our facts, they are like telling all of this was happening in the gospel space. So most of the times, the light is not most of the time. So there's nothing wrong if it gets to this time of the year. We just place reminders.
Nii, that comes back to what I wanted to ask. And it's true, you're right. For me, it was until we started engaging, the gospel stakeholders directly, yourself, Frankie 5, then I realized that, you guys are doing some very, very, very great work that we don't see because the amplification on this side, you don't get. Last 2 years when Diana Hamilton won, the facts that came out after was mind-blowing. We got to find out that, it wasn't like Adom was just a regular song, but it was big. It did well in various countries. So I am asking from you that Piesie Esther has come out strongly. Can you give us some insight of why you think Piesie Esther winning Artist of the Year shouldn't be a surprise to anybody? What has been her works over the years? Because I've checked Joe Mettle. Even Joe Mettle, who is not highly tipped, I know Joe Mettle plays shows in Togo, major shows with Bethel Revival Choir. People don't know about it. Joe Mettle has been playing major concerts in Florida, in Chicago, and I've seen them. Unlike, where Black will travel and we'll see all the videos around, we don't have the opportunity to see that from these gospel people. So I want you to tell us, the insights that that is backing Piesie Esther to deserve, or should in case she comes out as Artist of the Year.
Okay, so let's say Piesie Esther has been doing this for, and let me remind you, we have two people there, and I know conversation has gone on why we are promoting one. I mean, we've done a lot of consultation in-house. If I say in-house, Olele will say our constituency. So we've done a lot of consultation in our constituency. And our constituency, including the other person there, it's okay if we push we what we call the best leg forward. We push that leg forward and try and see if we can possibly get the ultimate. So we've done all those consultations in-house. So that conversation of the second person there, why we're not following on him, that's not a conversation to have, because we've kept our house clean before we're coming out. And number two, Piesie has been in the industry for like over 20 years. And when she released the song June last year, the song has been a huge talk in town. It grew gradually on people, and she first of all had a concert in Accra and Kumasi, oversold out. In fact, the conference center concert, I don't know any of you have seen the images from the stagecraft and everything. Yeah. Amazing images. My friend Frankie was the MC for that concert. Even people that bought tickets, others came to this. Those who came to the gates that day to buy tickets were even like half of those were already in the auditorium. And 25th December, she did the same at Kumasi, and she also had a sold out concert in Kumasi. Aside that, we were also thinking that, this is going to be a tree song, so it was not going to top chart, it was not going to make waves. But when you go to the trade gospel charts, the top 10 Ghanaian songs, it's been on the chart number 1 for weeks. When you go to the trade gospel chart again, African songs, top 30 African songs, it's been within 1 to 5 for weeks. And this has been constant. When you go to the Apple Music charts, when you screw it down to Christian and gospel, it's been within 1 to 5 for the better part of last year. When you stream it down to all genres, it's within 1 to 50. It was there for like a week or two, and it's make major airwaves outside of Ghana. That song, a tree song in particular, let's pay attention to that, has made major airwaves outside of Ghana. And the artist Piesie Esther has been outstanding in pushing this, in pushing the brand, and in pushing the works. And everybody will know she did phenomenally well in pushing this song, in pushing this. And the most important thing is that it's one of the songs that the video changed the narrative.
Your PR game is on point.
Gospel video.
Your PR gave me some points.
No.
I'll do your flowers.
This last point because people have been saying that we've been doing videos around flowers. If you watch the video, just change the narrative. You take that narrative and you see the video she did. Very, very excellent video, storyline on point, production, video, camera quality, everything on point. So all this comes together. So it makes her get a nomination there. And as she's gotten a nomination there, I mean, this is where the table of men and other influencers in the gospel sector come in. And we try our best to see if we can take the ultimate.
Okay. All right, sure.
Nii Noi, if the tables were turned, right, with a secular artist having one song and then a gospel artist having an album and having put in the work over the period under the year of review, would you say that the secular artist should be on that list of garnering for Artist of the Year?
Like the secular artist lobbying or
not lobbying. So for example, with Piesie Esther, we know it's her YMEA song, right? Largely. Yeah. So there are other people. Okay, so Black Sherif has a whole album that he put out under the year of review. Piesie Esther has her YMEA. So I'm asking, if the tables were turned and Piesie Esther was Black Sherif with an album and Black Sherif was Piesie Esther with one song, would you think that Black Sherif deserves to be on that list with Piesie Esther, who has a whole album and has put in the work?
Lenny, fortunately for us, the category definition says have a hit song or a hit album. So I would love that Black Sherif will still be there even with a song. So far as the category definition allows it, I'm okay.
Right. Okay.
All right, Nii Noi, thank you very much. We stopped you from wherever you're going to. It's good having you as always. Join us on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, boss.
Looking for the conversation after the event next week Monday.
I'll come to the studio with Piesie. We'll come with the flag.
I like that. Okay. I like that. Congratulations. She's a great artist. Definitely. Thank you very much. We're talking to Nii Noi as well. So back to the studio now. Back to 10 minutes left to discuss the top three.
Mr. Speaker,
yes, can I have my top three?
My top three.
I mean, 9 minutes left. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, based on the category definitions,
yes,
one of the things that they were looking for was the highest nominations in the year under review. Mr. Speaker, my first artist will be Black Sherif.
Black Sherif.
Black Sherif has 8 nominations.
Okay.
He also has a hit single. He has a hit album. And I want to believe that he has the highest audience appeal.
Okay.
Because by default,
yes,
the gospel constituency is the majority.
Yes.
In every corner and every village, there's a church.
Yes.
So by default, there's a popularity there that's already been taken care of.
Yes.
But Black Sherif has popularity, has songs and an album to back it with it.
Yes.
He also has the highest nominations. So, under no circumstance whatsoever should he be overlooked.
Okay.
I believe that Black Sherif should be the one to take the platform. All respect to my gospel brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker,
the last
followed by Piesie Esther, YMEA, YNE, she has 7 nominations. 7 nominations. Like I said, there's a church in every corner. So she definitely has that popularity, and she also has the audience appeal as well. The last one, Mr. Speaker, it's a very strategic, and it's a very, in fact, arguable, choice, and that is none other than Stonebwoy. Mr. Speaker, I'll explain later.
Okay.
So just take.
Just before I go to Ricky, Hollywood, Bollywood, Nollywood, and quality Ghanaian movies come alive on the big screens at Silverbird Cinemas. Get the very best entertainment you deserve. Share amazing memories with the ones you truly love at the Silverbird Cinemas. West Hills Mall or Accra Mall, either of them. Showing now are John Wick, the 4th installment, Super Mario Brothers, the movie, The Creed Part 3, Air, A Taste of Sin, Renfield, and The Pope's Exorcist. Just go on to silverbirdcinemas.com/West Hills or Accra for showing times, or call 0544 310 140 or 059 339 7086. Again, that's 0544 310 140 or 059 399 7086 if you want more details. All right, let me go to Ricky. I have one final concluding statement.
Right.
Powerful one.
So my number one is for 2 people. So obviously, 2 people occupy the number 1 spot. It's Piesie, Esther, and Black Sherif. Both of them have strong.
I disagree with you.
That's his opinion.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
you want top 3 people. He's mentioned 2 names.
No, 2 names
for one.
For one,
you can't change.
So number.
You can't. There's no rule. Look at the topic is on his chest.
It's still 3.
On the screen. Look at the screen.
Then
the topic is on his chest.
If you went to American embassy and they said write 1 artist you like,
then the last one, like
one artist. You said I should choose 3 artists.
Yes,
and I'm saying
and you've chosen
the number. No.
So you are only going to do number 1 and number 3.
Exactly.
Or number 1 and number 2.
Yes, Muntimat.
So that you have a tie.
Yeah. No, but that's exactly what I said. I said there are 2 people on the number 1 spot. That's what I said. So for my number 1, there are 2 people who will be number 1 for me, which is Piesie, Esther, and Black Sherif.
But the top 3, we didn't state that it was...
Maybe it or not, leave them.
You would.
Not taking
because
medicine.
No, go ahead. The top 3, no. It not be by any arrangement.
So why is it top? So why do you say top 3? Top 3 be what?
You are here, you know something.
Yeah.
But
at the back.
So you are telling me that in yours is
who was your top? Yes, it's in order. Exactly.
I
said Black Sherif,
Black Sherif,
Piesie.
Facts. That's what he said.
Because based on what he's saying, I would have put Stonebwoy and Sarkodie because Stonebwoy and Sarkodie had
to me, top 3 can always be my top 3 favorite artists. Yeah, of no order.
No, mine was in particular.
Because he didn't qualify the top 3 in terms of we just did the top 3, so it could be top 3 as in top 3. So now you should define to us what you mean by top 3. Since you said the topic, so the top 3. What are you saying?
I didn't say the topic. I beg you, leave me out.
So
so the top 3. Unless no, you are in charge. Unless you are saying we should just mention a random 3.
If I'm in charge,
exactly.
Give me random
For
3.
me, I'm ranking. My top 3. I want to put them in ranking.
The order.
My top 3. I want to put them in ranking. So Piesie, Esther, and Black Sherif are the top. Tie at the top. Piesie clearly, because I realized that one of the things that Piesie could also beat Blacko with slightly is events. Interestingly, Black Sherif didn't perform so much, obviously because he was trying to restrain or stay away from being all over the place. So if you, he was very conscious about the event. So if you look at Black Sherif in the year and a review itself, when it comes to the number of events he performed, it was not too much. It was limited. Piesie, on the other hand, and sometimes you have to be fair because in the year under review, when you want to look at activities, which is also part, there are activities in the year under review. You need to also look at someone who consistently has been playing shows, concerts, events, week after week and month after month.
But Ricky, I have a challenge with that.
Okay, let's times.
And then the last one will be Camido, and I was surprised, but anyway, I shouldn't be surprised. That's his list. Camido has been slept on. Camido in the year under review until Black Sherif sprang up heavily. He was almost the artist of the year. That song, Sugarcane, to the remix and the activities. And he was actually himself and Down Flat at a point were the biggest songs in Ghana within a certain period. And even that song, Sugarcane, up until now, still tops charts as one of them.
Isn't Down Flat from 2 years ago?
Then Jackie should have had a look in there.
I beg you. We have
exactly. No, so I asked. That's why I asked why Kim Promise is in there in our Artist of the Year and Jackie is not in there.
Okay, hold on, please. Hold on with that, please. I want to hear everybody's list quickly. Lenny.
Black Sherif. He's the only person.
In no order.
No, Black Sherif stands out to me. Off of this list.
Yeah.
Black Sherif stands out.
So yours is
to me.
Every girls.
No, I don't know really, but maybe Sarkodie.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Sarkodie.
You are aware that yeah.
And then that'll be it. Over the top of my head, really. If you are looking at everything, right? I'm trying to Black Sherif, Sarkodie.
Okay. You are aware Cyril chose Achimota first, second, and Peter's third, and we didn't want to do that. Just so you know, I'm just giving this.
My list and not the list.
Stonebwoy Niman can say problem or boy we there.
But it's not arranged it's not.
Arranged.
Top priority.
That's exactly
number 3, Piesie, Esther number 2, and
Stonebwoy.
then Black Sherif at number 1.
He mentioned Stonebwoy.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah. Okay, that's great. So let's come to those insights that we're making. However, you should know that you see when Nii Noi was talking, right? You realize I could sense that there's a lot of influence going around in this room. Clearly, a few of us here have been influenced.
Just from the conversation.
Ricky took Momo.
Clearly, I don't even want to mention. You might mention
Ricky.
Somebody has
Why the Ricky the fiam? Ricky Lusuna.
Oh, no. The switch,
Ricky Kolomomo.
The switch was
tell us some more. Tell us about why
I'm not even a board member. I'm not an academy member. So
yes.
What is it?
You are just saying you've been influenced.
Yeah, I've been influenced to do what?
Yeah, foot soldier, brother. It's a foot soldier. Yeah. No, but it's very true. The point you've made with the gospel artists, sometimes it's unless you find yourself within their space, right, then you get to follow the activity. But the activities are very heavy.
I have a thing to cut in there.
Okay,
what is their space? Like they are in some other place doing something.
Of course they are.
No.
Of course they are,
bro.
Okay.
Bro.
That's another. I mean, you are seeing. I understand where you are going.
It's music. It's music,
which is also part of entertainment.
No, it's music.
Yes, so, but I disagree heavily. That's why they have. Do you know that they have gospel channels? They have gospel channels who decide not to play secular. No, it not be a let matter.
Listen,
there are gospel channels. There are gospel events where they decide that I won't put Sarkodie on the show because it is for Christians.
So
what is...
Sweetheart, hear me out. I am saying that there's an award scheme that's for everybody in the nation, right? Are they tapping into these gospel channels? These numbers that is there. But we keep making it look like secular people get the attention and gospel people are being neglected. They are in their corner and they have to keep doing for us. You understand? It's music. I could say the same about dancehall. I could say the same about reggae. Somebody who's a reggae fan might not be listening to your Jackie. But reggae people...
All right, on that note, we have to bring the curtains to a close. We're back here tomorrow for a bigger conversation. We'll see you tomorrow. Here we are.